Alrighty, you want more powerful variations of the Green Goliath? You got it. We hit the strongest ones in the last video, but this list has definitely got some Hulks that may make your jaw drop. I'm Adam Andrews, and today on Top 10 Nerd, we're going to do part 2 of the top 10 most powerful Hulk variants. Let's get into it. Number 10, Nerd Hulk. In the Ultimate Universe, that version of the Hulk goes away for a little while, and nobody knew where. Now, the Ultimates and government want another muscle for the team. Gregory Stark created a Hulk clone using Banner's stem cells, which was given the name of the Nerd Hulk, because he wore glasses, which seems kind of mean, but whatever. This version possessed all of Banner's intellect on top of the Ultimate Hulk's strength. Unfortunately, that damn intelligence tends to overrule rage, which is one of the handy dandy things that gives Hulk so much damn power in combat. Meaning this Hulk could even be defeated by Captain America, who almost defeated the regular Ultimate Hulk in combat. Number 9, Skulk. The Amalgam Universe. You knew it would show up eventually. Skulk is a combination of the Hulk and DC's Solomon Grundy. Now for those of you who don't know, Solomon Grundy is basically a zombie, which allows him to frequently lose his life and resurrect in new incarnations, each with varying levels of strength and intelligence. In this story, however, Solomon Grundy happens to be passing by when Bruce Banner was testing the Gamma detonation. Bruce ran out there to try and save the Elemental, but was instead fused to Mr. Grundy. Now, the odd mix became the Skulk. And I'm assuming that means it's a Hulk who is a zombie? A Hulk who is now even more immortal than he already would be? I'm not sure what this ultimately means, but I do know that he looks a lot like a much angrier Solomon Grundy just wearing purple shorts. So there's that. Number 8, Ape Hulk. After the crazy success of Marvel Zombies, Marvel realized that these kinds of weird comic book worlds are extremely well received by readers, which means we all got to see the world of Marvel apes, which you may be surprised to learn is a world where every Marvel character from 616 are apes, most of which having great ape-related pun names. Hulk did not have that perk though, but he was still the strongest member of the Ape Avengers. Now if his powers are the same as his 616 counterpart, which they seem to be, then this Hulk is powerful enough to make this list for sure. But we don't see him do anything particularly special, which against the rest of these alternate Hulks does not allow him to stand any higher on this list. This Ape Hulk helped battle against the vampiric Ape Avengers and would later join a group dubbed the Prime 8, led by Nick Fury. Number 7, Hulkpool. Thanks to the miniseries Hulked Out Heroes, we get to see a version of Deadpool who has become Hulkified. Hulkpool here, with the help of his friend Bob, is able to travel all over time, trying to dispatch his weak, normal self from the past. It's Deadpool, guys. Paradoxes in time mean nothing to him. He goes back to 1717 and becomes a pirate alongside a time-displaced Ben Grimm the Thing. He goes to prehistory with Devil Dinosaur. He goes to the Wild West where Hawkeye is, also time displaced, and then to 1945, right when Captain America is trying to save Bucky Barnes. Hulkpool helps them steer the rocket in a different direction, directly towards the Red Skull and a certain mustached dictator from World War II, de-lifing them both. It turns out that Deadpool has changed the entire time stream, creating an alternate timeline where Pirate Ben Grimm becomes the first president of the United States. He interrupts the accident that created Daredevil getting doused in that radioactive stuff that blinded Matt Murdock and made him enhanced. He stops Doctor Strange from getting in that first accident that made him go to the Ancient One, and he just really messes everything up, ultimately. Becoming the only Hulk in this timeline, which makes him the most powerful even without all the enhancements he gets from being Deadpool. Number 6, Old Man Hulk. Probably the most disturbing version of Hulk I've ever seen would have to be Pappy Banner in the Old Man Logan story by Mark Millar. After the villains took over the world, it is believed that Banner and the Hulk received extra doses of radiation from the atomic weaponry used in California, which caused Bruce to become a little unhinged. Hulk procreated with Jennifer Walters, his first cousin, creating kids who also had children, and together they all formed the Hulk gang that viciously ruled over Hulkland, which is primarily the whole of the west coast of the US. Now, before you all tell me he didn't do this with Jennifer Walters like last time I said that, here's the comic panel of him saying so. Okay, now that's out of the way. This version of Bruce actually has the strength of the Hulk when he is still in his Bruce Banner form, but when angry enough, he transforms into a massive, almost 30-foot Hulk. He is able to eat Old Man Logan whole. I mean, before Logan regenerates and tears out of him from the inside. But guess whose head survived and went on to be attached to a robot? Yes, it was Bruce Banner. Number 5. Kluh. Kluh, which is Hulk backwards, is basically what happens when the Hulk goes Hulk. That's how it's described at least, which will make things confusing for us in a sec, but we will get there when we get there. Kluh is another one of the evil personalities inside Hulk and Bruce Banner's head. This version of Hulk has black skin with glowing red scars, he has red demonic eyes, white hair, and big talons, making him very demonic and very evil looking indeed. Kluh emerges when Hulk reaches a sufficient level of rage to go Hulk himself, which technically means he is potentially more powerful than other rage-boosted versions of the Green Hulk, but I don't think Kluh is more powerful than when Hulk took revenge on the Illuminati. This version of Hulk is usually suppressed and has only shown up a few times and not for very long. He mainly only appeared in the Axis storyline, where heroes and villains had their moralities switched. Hulk isn't always exactly a good guy thanks to his rampages, but he is ultimately acting to try and help people. But since Kluh is his opposite morality-wise, Kluh lets his rage hurt and maim everyone, good or bad, putting even the villains on alert and screaming he wants to, quote-unquote, bathe in the blood of the innocents. Jeez, it's pretty bad. Number 4. Titan Hulk. Okay, so in the Starship Hulk storyline, Bruce Banner has managed to separate his mind and the Hulk's mind. And in a very complicated explanation, he basically pilots the Hulk's body from a kind of psychic cockpit type thing. Very Pacific Rim style, but with a Hulk instead of a kaiju fighting robot, if that makes any sense to you. There's also a weird Betty Ross persona in there that is trying to take control of Hulk as well. It's very complicated. Bruce and Hulk get transported to an alternate reality where Bruce never became the Hulk, and Thunderbolt Ross used Gamma Tech to become a dictator of the whole world. In this world, Ross attempts to destroy this new Hulk by sending waves of gamma-powered abomination monsters at him. And while he is fighting these abominations, Bruce is also fighting that Betty Ross persona we talked about. She does actually gain control, and she overstretches the engine room of the Hulk, pushing him to a kind of power level we have never ever seen before. It's incredibly intense, and it results in the physical body of the Hulk to transform, bursting with out of control gamma power and transforming into the 30-foot tall Titan, who is referred to as the Hulk's Hulk. Kind of the same as Kluh, which is why this is very confusing, but he's way more powerful somehow. Simply becoming Titan fully overpowers Ross's forces, like with a big energy blast. As this version shows up after Immortal Hulk, I think the Hulk's Hulk has got to be more powerful than Immortal Hulk, which is just kind of really scary. Number 3. Zombie Hulk. Just like Zombie Spider-Man and any of the Zombie Galacti, this version of Hulk fed on the Silver Surfer and Galactus that granted him the power cosmic. So a man-eating undead Hulk who can now travel across the universe, consuming whole planets of people, spreading the zombie virus to every corner of the universe. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. But I think his power also gets boosted by the fact that he basically has a whole army of other zombies who travel through space with him, including a zombie Thanos who accuses Hulk of eating more than everyone else. It is probably true, but considering he is bigger and does kind of need to eat more to sate that hunger, I think it's kind of fair. Kinda. Either way, this Hulk in a rage actually dispatches Thanos, which in case you didn't know is no small feat. Not at all. These zombies ate the entire Marvel universe, reaching the edge of space, and didn't know what to do from here. So they went back to Earth and some stuff went down with the surviving human colony. Either way, Marvel Zombies is a super well-known story, and it's super entertaining. Power Cosmic Zombie Galacti Hulk is probably the best part of it. Number 2. Captain Universe Hulk. The Uni-Power possesses people during a crisis, and provides them with the power to solve it. As a result, the wielder becomes one of the strongest beings in the universe, capable of energy manipulation and projection, and nearly any other power the wielder can think of or needs. So as you can imagine, that's a lot of power. Now imagine all that power in the body of an already extremely powerful Hulk. And that's how we arrive here, at Captain Universe, the Incredible Hulk. In this story, the Hulk becomes possessed by Captain Universe, which is another name for the Unipower. Suffering from memory loss, Captain Universe bonds with Bruce Banner in order to find the scientist Dr. Gilbert Wiles. The Unipower itself only activates for a small amount of time, but when it does, woo! It's something to behold. You should watch it. You should read it. You should read it. Number 1. Space Punisher Hulk. Space Punisher Hulk is a completely separate entity from Bruce Banner. whose body is literally trapped inside Space Punisher Hulk. This means that nothing that happens to Bruce Banner affects the Hulk. Space Punisher Hulk also has an extra set of arms and is quite a bit taller, which you can imagine is pretty useful for a super strength powered being. Even though he is from Earth 12091, he isn't just feared on this Earth. This Hulk is hunted by the Earth 161 General Ross, who constantly fails. He has only appeared in 2 comic books, but that gives us enough information to know he is capable of a lot. He is described as a destructive killing machine, well known for destroying spaceships. He has defeated the Fantastic Four, ripping off the Thing's hand and tying up Mr. Fantastic in a knot in the process. He strangled Doc Samson with his own hair. He bit through Sabretooth and de-lifed Deadpool by literally tearing his head off, which shouldn't actually work. He defeated and ended the life of 6 Watchers single-handedly. He broke the leader's back in combat, and he also ripped out Bruce Banner from his own chest and let Bruce get de-lifed without it affecting him whatsoever. He is virtually invulnerable, seemingly indestructible and invincible. He can move faster than light and pass through barriers of existence and reality. Enough said. Alrighty Aphrodite, that's the list. Got any thoughts or opinions? Keep it civil and leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe here at Top 10 Nerd. I've been your host Adam Andrews. Find me down below, and until next time, peace out nerds!